we're on the hunt for America's lost treasures. Where someone here will have their personal treasure selected for display at the National Geographic Museum in Washington, D.C.
I know what this is.
You do?
But I bet this has a very interesting story. Where did this come from?
Actually, my grandmother passed away in 1988, and we found it in her attic when we were cleaning it out. So we really don't know where it came from, but I think if I had to assume, it would have been my great-grandfather, her father. It lifts off.
Look at that.
And I love the monogram on the front. It actually labels graphophone and Columbia phonograph, New York and Paris. The horn actually settles on over there. And then the wax records would actually slide onto the sleeve.
Can I take a look at this?
Sure, sure.
The wax records.
And
That's...
a beautiful picture of Thomas Edison on the cover.
Look at that. Registered in U.S. Patent Office August 9th, 1904.
I really don't know much about the value of it or the history behind it, where they were manufactured.
I think that this is something that would really benefit from an expert taking a look at it.
I would love that.
Someone who knows the history.
The graphophone marks the infancy of recorded sound, something most of us can't live without. I'm definitely hitting play on this one. We're at the Johnson Victrola Museum, and we're hoping that Ann Baker Horsey, the curator of collections, can give us some more details on John's graphophone.
My grandmother passed away in 1988. We found it in her attic, and I really don't know much about it. So I really am looking forward to learning more about the graphophone and finding out what it's worth and what it meant to us as a society.
Aha.
Isn't it beautiful?
This is the horn.
That's right. Well, you have, it looks like to me, you have what would be a Type B. It was known as the Eagle. And it originally cost about $10. And it was symbolic with a $10 gold coin. This was the American Graphophone Company's desire to get a machine out affordable to everybody.
Interesting.
And they wanted to have one in every single family's home.
What time period are we talking about here?
This is 1897. The condition of the case is overall very good. However, there's one loss here in the veneer. The decal is all there. That is always nice.
It's always amazed me how beautiful that looks.
Yes. The machine itself, there's a little bit of abrasion on the turn crank and a little bit on your mandrel. However, those I think could be rubbed out a little bit. Your reproducer's in good condition, and you do have your 3-ball governor. Some of the original finish is coming off a little bit, but here again, it's all there. But everything else seems to be really in good shape.
You know, Anne, one of the questions that John had was, where was the machine made? And we know it says New York and Paris on there, but is this where it was produced?
It was actually made in Bridgeport, Connecticut, where they had their manufacturing plant.
Interesting.
Yes. I think there were something like 150,000 of them made at the
really?
time because they were so popular.
Great story behind this little machine. It's just not as rare as I had hoped. Can I ask you about the value of this?
Well, museum curators can't give values or appraisals, but we can certainly help you find out for yourself.
I appreciate that.
Let's take a look. The B Eagle, good condition.
Wow.
Can I ask you about the value of this? Kurt and I are in Delaware on the hunt for America's lost treasure. We've narrowed our search to 6 items, but only one will be chosen to go on display at the National Geographic Museum. I'm at the Johnson Victrola Museum, where curator Ann Baker Horsey has just informed me that John's 1897 graphophone is unfortunately quite common. But hopefully, still worth a pretty penny. Let's take a look. The B Eagle, good condition.
Wow.
$500.
Yeah. How about that?
That's great. Not that you would ever sell this.
No, it really is a family heirloom.
They're part of our cultural history. They're very important to tell our story about
fabulous.
recorded sound. And this little instrument is very special for that reason. And
that's wonderful.
It's a gem.
It's a great piece of American nostalgia. It's just not unusual enough to be an American treasure.